Anyway, moving on to our Muppet of the month. The last
It's a
minute
late
we did.
entry as well.
It's a very late entry. Just this morning, well, I think I'd seen this maybe yesterday or the day before, but you brought this. You slammed it on the table. This is the one, and this is a tweet from Peter Whittle. Peter
AM.
Whittle AM. Now,
Um,
is that a member of the Welsh Assembly or
no, no, it's the London Assembly.
the London Assembly? What is the
Yeah.
London Assembly?
It's the London Assembly is the elected regional assembly for Greater London, um, and this our particular Muppet is a man called Peter Whittle, who is is an assembly member on the Greater London Assembly, and in fact is the group leader for UKIP, the United Kingdom Independence Party, which is the party that has you're rolling your eyes, Mark.
Sorry, no. Sorry, just something happened. I just got
Uh,
momentary palsy. Sorry. Yeah, but it's an article. Basically, he's clearly taken a photo of an article appearing in. Do you know which newspaper this was?
I'm not sure. I think it might be the London Archaeologist, or certainly an archaeological publication,
Okay.
because it's the article is called, and people can look at this. Things you only know if you're a London archaeologist, and it's quoting archaeologist Sadie Watson, and it's
Well, it's painting a picture of Roman London. Roman London.
Roman London wasn't so different, is the headline. It says, quote, I work for Museum of London Archaeology and led excavations ahead of the building of Bloomberg's new headquarters in the city. We dug up whole Roman streets there and with them clues about the first Londoners. Just like now, the place was a multinational melting pot of different nationalities. Now, Mr. Whittle tweeted this article and said, more political agenda pushing from our museums.
Oh God. Oh.
Yeah, basically archaeological evidence for Roman London being a multicultural city with people coming from all over the Roman Empire and traders.
Physical things.
Physical evidence.
Yes, stuff, actual stuff, not just someone going, I would like to think that. It's actually things, like, so, go on.
Yeah. Because for people who aren't familiar with it, UKIP is an anti-immigration party.
Yes.
It believes in.
Well, and they've
Sorry?
shown themselves to be an anti-intellectualism party as well. In the past, in terms of, for example, Sir Aaron Banks, a backer for UKIP, has attacked, for example, Mary Beard on Twitter. I think we talked about this in the previous Watching Brief.
Absolutely, this is the man who got his history of the Roman Empire from Gladiator.
And oh, sorry, go on.
Anyway,
sorry. In that movie, they use a Zulu chant at the beginning because it sounds cool. It does sound cool, but that's not a good historical document. Go on.
Talking about Nightfall, yeah. But no, Whittle posted that, and it's playing to the "we've all had enough of experts. I believe this, therefore I'm right."
Yeah.
It's that kind of agenda that UKIP tends to stand for. It didn't go unnoticed, however, by the archaeological community. And if you look at the thread, the first two comments on the thread are by two very respected colleagues, David Petts, who said "bless." Another hashtag UKIP ignoramus struggling with complex notions such as facts, evidence, and research. Thought you lot were meant to love our country and its history.
Yeah.
And Gabe Shenska of UCL asked Mr. Whittle, "Are you saying she's wrong, or lying, or are you just struggling with all those polysyllabic words?"
Now. Oh, I feel compelled to say that I'm not mocking the fact, or we're not mocking the fact that he's not a specialist, and we shouldn't necessarily go right the way down to, oh, you can't read necessarily. But there's something about the fact that, for example, he still has on his Twitter profile London mayoral candidate 2016 that shows that this guy is fringe. He's not he's not in the mix at the moment. He's holding on to past non-achievements in that instance. He didn't become the mayor of London, and this is a paranoid perspective, which actually, and we should say, is not welcome in Britain. It's a perspective that has been increasingly common on a global scale, particularly, for example, in the US. This question of whether or not everything from movie studios to local government to museums to medical professionals have some sort of political agenda, in particular when it comes to gender, religion, and also other things that have an impact on the modern political landscape. But this sort of nonsense where you're saying that an archaeologist who deals in things that tell her interesting things about the past that are surprising and fascinating, and the whole point of archaeology to find what is new about the past, what we don't assume to be the case about the past, we found this stuff, to say that she's doing that because of a political agenda is just horse shit, and it's not welcome in Britain. As simple as that. It just is.
Absolutely, and in fact, people have had a great deal of fun pointing out that not that long ago, in fact, only on the 18th of July, Peter Whittle put up another tweet which said, "Oh, so you've no arguments when faced with facts." Yeah. And you consider yourself a nobody. That's a pity. I always like to engage. So
I know a nobody who was the London mayoral candidate for 2016. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not going to swear, but I already have sworn. I'm not going to use that word, the one that I wanted to. But he can rack off, as they used to say in Neighbours.
Absolutely. Or feck off, as they used to say in Father Ted.
That's feck off. Yes.
But I mean, to be fair, I mean, it does play to an audience. One of the first people to respond in the thread was the person who posts on behalf of Chesham and Amersham UKIP, who said, "Total myth that the Romans were the first Londoners. Large settlement or cluster of settlements has long been established, probably for thousands of years, and with a large population. History reflects those that tell it." And then in a further tweet, and to prove my point that even archaeology is now politicised. This is a good source, and then he quotes another source. "What a shame we live in an era where all academia follows a political narrative."
Oh, come off it. The thing is, London was named by the Romans, Londinium. That's why they're the first Londoners. He's not saying that they're the first humans ever to put a foot on the place. I mean, if you... Yeah. Oh! But also, actually, this guy, I'm pretty sure I know who Cheshire and Chesham and Amersham UKIP. I think I know who that guy is. I think I've heard him on a radio show before now. Right. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. No, it's just then it says in another tweet they say Chesham and Amersham UKIP again, impossible to pursue an independent politicised research in the modern climate.
What nonsense! Just nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
But if because London was called Londinium by the Romans, it was named by them, it exists because of them. If this research simply showed that it was like a up Pompeii vision of the Roman world, people like him and Peter Whittle wouldn't even think to tweet about it. They wouldn't even bother them if they, so long as it fitted in with a popular, outdated, and frankly informed by a slightly post-imperialistic, Victorian, nonsensical view of what it meant to be in the Roman Empire. If it wasn't that, then they wouldn't have a problem with it. It is again. It's because it is actually finding new, challenging information that it challenges these people. And funnily enough, I'm just going to just sort of trail a little interview that I did yesterday or the day before with Cara Cooney, where we talk about this idea of humans as the political animal, and the fact that people seem to want their political discussions to happen in isolation from the world that surrounds them, and also from, in this instance,
reality.
Or from reality, but also actually from yeah. It's not our fault that you're personally uncomfortable with the archaeology that we recover. It's not our job to paint a picture for you that makes you personally happy. You know, and that's ultimately what really gets my goat in this instance is that if anything, an agenda-laden archaeology would be one that reinforced Peter Whittle's view of what
Well, it was
Roman
tried
world should
once.
be.
It was called the Arnenurber.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly, and then so yeah, it's. I mean, this started off light-heartedly. I thought this was going to be like, oh no, but I'm actually quite angry. But yes, anyway, look out for that interview in an upcoming video. Yeah. So that's been our Muppet of the month. I look forward to seeing what the comments on that video or that section of the video will be.
Yeah.